psychologists and sociologists also tell us that in order for our relationships to be fulfilling, to be strong, to be fulfilling is maybe the word, to be loving. There needs to be the ability to be vulnerable, the ability to be transparent, you could say, which is quite an interesting thing because many of us actually spend most of our time trying to hide our weaknesses, trying to hide our flaws, trying to hide what we did wrong, and we might even lie or pretend that I didn't do certain things, or that I didn't say certain things, or that it didn't happen the way, and trying to prove ourselves right. And in that process, pretending to be perfect, pretending to be right, pretending to not make mistake, we actually alienate ourselves from each other or from the others. And so this is kind of an interesting psychological dynamics going on. On the one hand, we want to be close and because of that, we want to appear perfect and we want to appear virtuous. And because we want to appear perfect, we hide or deny or ignore our flaws and our mistakes or things that didn't go right. And in that process, we actually damage trust, damage love, damage the relationship or the interaction. But at the same time, the psychologist tells us to be able to be vulnerable, you need to have a strong sense of self-respect. And able to be vulnerable, you need a strong sense of self-worth. Now, how do we build that if we look at ourselves with all these flaws and mistakes and this is where spirituality comes in. And this is such a beautiful, liberating understanding if we truly take this on and begin to create that mindset where we understand the true nature and the essence of who we truly are. And spiritual knowledge, in essence, says this whole physical world is a temporary, changing, visible dimension, and it is like a theater where a play is going on. And so Rona is a character in that play. And there are 8 billion characters at the moment. And there is this big performance going on of this play called the human drama. But there is a non-physical dimension, an invisible dimension. And the one who is playing these parts, the actor, The invisible is invisible. The being, the invisible experiencer, the invisible player, the soul, comes from that non-physical, invisible dimension into the physical dimension to play this part of human life. And to remember that always. And the part may have different quality, different characteristics are expressed. But the actor, the invisible being of light, the invisible player, the invisible experiencer, is a timeless being, a being with innate potential of divinity. That being is a child of God, like God, the Supreme Soul, bodiless, who belongs to that world of silence and light, that dimension beyond. And from there we come into this world of sound and movement and bodies. And so true vulnerability in terms of playing the part and interacting through the part with others can only happen if we are aware of ourselves as those pure, peaceful, timeless beings of light. We don't need to identify with the physical part that is played out. Rona has her weaknesses and her strong points, but the real self is the soul. And we can accept victory and we can accept defeat if we are fully aware of ourselves as spiritual beings and our eternal connection and relationship filled with peace and love is with the soul, with other souls, and with the Supreme. So let us take a few moments to grasp this subtle state of awareness and these subtle attitudes which are spiritual. So for a few moments we fully accept this world of matter. And just to remind, it is a temporary and changing drama going on. And we are just silent observers, as if step back. The invisible experiencer is a silent observer, even of this body. And the silent, invisible observer is bodiless, free from needs and desires, full, complete, peaceful being of light. Just try and grasp a mind that lives in that awareness, in that spiritual paradigm. What is called the human experience is extra, but the soul is already complete. Need nothing to exist. Free. Belonging to this family of beings of light, belonging to the supreme, beings of benevolence, beings of bliss and beauty. And although it may appear so radical and so different from what generally is seen to be normal, but this is the spiritual truth, subtle but very real. Let us allow ourselves to explore and perceive this spiritual paradigm. Just hold in the image, let's hold in the mind this image of a living light. Thank you. Thank you. And let the lights of the holiday season remind you of the invisible living lights.